Anyway, we're going to continue to talk about whatever, as per usual. I want to get down to business tonight, as we typically do, because, hey, we have, can you believe it, just our second season to sim with this team. Season 1 took a while, but, we don't like to rush through things if we don't have to. Although this season will be a little bit more fast-paced because I'm not too worried at the moment. Although maybe I will take a look at other teams' lines. We'll see. Just to kind of see how the league's developing. But again, for us this season, Jeff Skinner is here. Alex Radulov is here. That third line has a lot more skill on it. I think this could be a playoff team. I hope this is a playoff team. This probably should be a playoff team. So I can't wait to see how poorly it goes. But yeah, really quickly, let's breeze through this. See if anything's really changed about Anaheim. Not really. They are looking pretty similar. I mean, some guys like Matt Bolesky have made the lineup, but Ryan, Getzlaf, Perry, you still got Solani and Fedorov. Defensively, ooh. I mean, that left-hand side is good. That right side is weak as hell. Damn. And then goalie-wise, Hiller and McElhinney. Okay. Who was that pick you traded? Who was that? Elaborate. Spiza, Blake, and Mickelson as scratches. Atlanta with first overall pick Taylor Hall. Second overall pick Taylor Hall. Antropov, Berg Fours. Vander Kane's still there. The accidental first. It ended up at Boston, and they took a decent player with it, but we had a lot of wheeling and dealing at the draft. So, Enstrom, Bogosian, Hamhuis. Wow, Dan Hamhuis ended up in Atlanta, huh? Okay. Thrashers aren't looking that bad. They are in our division, and that was the landing spot for Antti Niemi. Bunny coming in on the 40. Bunny, welcome back. Thank you for the outright sub. I was going to say the primer. It wasn't even a primer. Thank you very much for that. How the heck are you? Are you feeling like Antti Ranta on a $5 million contract? You didn't pull Leafs and hand Boston Sagan. No, he went to Dallas. Speaking of Boston, Mark Savard's still playing. They brought in Chris Higgins. They drafted Zaitsev. They have Brad Marchand on the third line with Marco Sturm. Milan Lucic is playing fourth line center. What an absolute mess of a team. In terms of the line combos, there is no reason that Mark Savard isn't playing center. That is so bad. Again, the AI needs to be improved. They should not be shooting themselves in the foot that much by playing a 58 face-off Marco Sturm at center to get a +5 on the top line. No bueno. Unlike that defense, which is pretty good. You have Lassi Kukkonen. And wow, Tuukka Rask has surpassed Tim Thomas after just one season. Damn. Hunwick, Vananen, Sean Thornton. Okay. What's Buffalo look like? Vanek, Roy Pominville. Tanguay went to Buffalo. Old Tim Connolly. Michael Nylander. Ralphie Torres is up to an 85. Okay. Defense, Kara Myers, Butler, Rive, Lilia, and Monador. Goalie, Miller, and Liam. Sabres don't look that bad. They're not amazing, but they're not that bad. Calgary, it is still Jerome McGinley and his band of merry men. Although Hagman, Kodalik, not that bad. But yeah, they still got some work to do. Still got Bouwmeester and Gio on defense, Ian White. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to look for Iggy and company. Kipper and Joey McDonald in goal. Party, Sarich, and Regier. That is a lot of money tied up in 3 healthy scratch defenders. Carolina, Whitney Stahl, Brindamore is still there. You see Jokinen. They have on defense. Picking in Zubov. That was his landing spot. Gleason, Kabina, Eaton, McBain. Carolina could be good this year. And Legacy and Ward. Ooh. Big time mad Sergei Samsonov that he's a healthy scratch. He wants out. I don't think we want to change anything about our lines yet, but that's where... Was he, He is a playmaker. If Teddy Purcell can't cut it, swooping in for Sergei Samsonov's not a bad idea. Chicago is still ridiculous. Jesus. It's just... Goddamn, that team. They just start off so strong, man. So strong. Keith, Seabrook, Campbell, Hjalmarsson on the third pair. Hue and Toivonen. So the fact that I took Corey Crawford away from them, though, might slow them down a little bit. A little bit. Oh, they're going to run into cap trouble. Don't worry about it. Colorado, Stastny, Duchesne, O'Reilly. Got Hayduk up there. Colorado's looking okay. They're okay. From a forward perspective. That was the landing spot as well for Stefan Veilleux. Defensively, still led by John Michael Lyles, but not a terrible defense. And in goal, Craig Anderson, Peter Budaj. Okay. And then O'Donnell McKee. A lot of healthy scratch defenders. Columbus still has the Rick Nash, Jaromir Jagr combo with Anton Vermette, the Selke winner last year, down the middle. Honestly, they're not that bad. Like, the second line offense might be a bit of a question. A lot of grit in the bottom six. And defense, Teuton Strawman, Jackman, Corvo, Russell, Commodore. It's not too bad in Columbus either. It's not bad. And Mason and Guerin. Bergeron, Clayton, Klaus. Dude, there's so many healthy scratch defenders. Dallas has, oh my God, Ben, Richards, and Sagan. Erickson, Ribeiro, Ott, Neal, Peterson, Siegel, and then Morrow. Morrow's on the fourth line. Damn, though. They have on defense. Okay, that's kind of the equalizer. It's not god-awful, but James Wisniewski is their best defenseman. Who they got in goal? Lettinen and Turco. Fistrick and Day. Wow, Trevor Daley's a healthy scratch. That's a choice. Red Wings have Zetterberg, Datsuk, and Ole Eokanen. That is, wow. Franzen, Filppula, Bertuzzi. Still pretty strong. That top line, man. Ole Eokanen's going to have a career year. And defensively, Lidstrom, Rafalski, Cronwall, Stewart, Erickson, Kindle. Who do they have in goal? Jimmy Howard. Chris Osgood. Fair enough. Edmonton with Penner, Gagne, Hemsky. It's okay. Sullivan, Horkoff, Gilbert, Brule. It's not terrible for Edmonton. Defense, Whitney, Gilbert, Surrey, Petrie, a dude named Radulov, and Smead. Bertuzzi on the wings, just like his son. Oh, you know. Hobby Bullen, Alex Ald. It's not his son. Aaron Johnson and Merrick Malik. He scored a shootout goal once. And then Florida was the landing spot for Paul Correa. They have him with Stephen Weiss and Nathan Horton. That could be a really good line. The Panthers need it to be a really good line because it's a bit hit or miss throughout the rest of it. Second line's not too bad. Defense, McCabe, Kulikov, Ballard, Allen, Garrison, Ellerby. Goals, Vokun still. Yeah, Vokun and Clemenson. Taff, Bitts, Exelby as the scratches. The Kings have Smith, Kopitar, Brown, Dimitra, Hanzus, and Williams. Burnett, Paulson, Downey, Lang, Stoll, and Richardson. I don't regret getting rid of Steve Downey, by the way. Scuderi, Doughty, Johnson, Yuchina, Drewiski, and Green. They could really use an Alec Martinez in there. And goalies, Quick and Bernier. Wow, Frolov, Simmons, and Trevor Lewis are all scratches. That is horrific to have Brad Richardson in over Trevor Lewis, or not necessarily Trevor Lewis, but especially Wayne Simmons. Oh, yeah. Minnesota. Got Bouchard, Koivu, Havlat. Latendresse moved up a little bit. Clutterbuck's on the team. Fourth line center, Derek Stepan. What do they have on defense? Pete Bloodhoff, who was drafted with Brent Burns. Barker, Sidlichky, Schultz, and Knighty. Goalies, Backstrom and Harding. Scratches, Burish and Stoner. Okay. Le Habitant. Camilleri, Plekanec, Gianta, Pacioretty. Good development for Patches. He's with Gomez and Andre Kostitsyn. Leon LaPierre, Sergei Kostitsyn, Darshell and Moan. It's not a bad Habs team. Markov and PK Subban has arrived. Hammerlick, Yannick Weber, Spacek, O'Byrne, and then in goal will be Gary Price. Oh, yeah. That Habs team's looking pretty good. I'll give them that. Desjardins, Georges, and Gill as scratches. What do the Preds have? Erat, number 1 center, Blake Wheeler. We'll keep a close eye on Nashville. We'll see. Got Naslund, Arnott, and Ward. So they ended up signing Marcus Naslund at age 37. So. And then defense is Suter, Weber, Bouillon, Klein. Roman Josi has made the team as well with Cody Franzen. And goalies, Rene, Dan Ellis, Todd White. Christian Huselius is an 85 overall healthy scratch. The fuck? Why are you even signing Marcus Naslund then? Dude, they're so dumb. They're still so dumb. Ugh. I'm sorry. Sometimes it just catches me off guard how fucking dumb the AI still are. Devils, Kovalchuk, Zajac, Finneganoff. They still got Parise and Eliash down that left wing side. Shout out to Rod Pelly, third line center. Clarkson's on the fourth. And at defense, Martin, Green, White, Salvador, Sador, and Stewart. Goalies, Brodeur and Steven Valaket. Samala. Okay. Devils look pretty good too, still. The Islander with Molson, Tavares, and Bailey. Still got Doug Waite there. Kyle Okpozo's moving up in the lineup. We have on defense. That leaves a bit to be desired. And Rolison and Biron. John, fair enough. I'm going to sim a couple of days. If Mark Streit is still a healthy scratch when the season starts, this game might be cooked, dude. This game might be cooked. Let's sim our first game of the year against Chicago. A game in which we won 5-1. Let's go look at the Islanders again. Like, you cannot in any way justify Mark Streit being a healthy scratch. Oh, yay. There's just no justification for it. There is zero justification for it. He's the best defenseman on the team. He's got a gold trait, so he'd get better chemistry than anybody else there. I mean, I guess you can make the storyline, like I guess you have to make, like, an internal storyline of, like, he doesn't get along with the coach, so they're sitting him. But should you really have to put in that amount of work mentally? And it's like, if he didn't get along with the coach, his morale could drop, but he's still an 86. That's crazy. That is crazy. Whew. It's a rough one. It's a rough one. That's all I can say. You know, in some ways, I'm trying to think of how I want to phrase this. Like, in some ways, I know some people are, like, way more checked out on NHL 25 at this point of the year than normal. And from a franchise perspective, I mean, this simply has to be another exhibit as to why. You know? Like, people are well aware of some of the shortcomings that this game has. Well aware of it. I unfortunately can't check to see if Streit still even has his letter. I presume he does, but that's awful. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see if they put him back in the lineup. If not, we'll be able to acquire him for dirt cheap. See what the Rangers are looking like. Ryan Callahan continues to get better. Brandon Prust on the fourth line. Sean Avery still the key piece for them. Ryan McDonough has made the team. And it was the landing spot for Paul Ranger. Perfect. Goalies, Henrik Lundqvist, Johan Hedberg, and scratches of Delzato, Redden, and Lundin. I mean, did you really need Paul Ranger then if you have Delzato? Ottawa with Tkachuk, old Keith Tkachuk, that is. Spezza and Alfredson, Fisher and Kovalev, still big pieces for them. Nick Foligno in there, of course. Defensively, Volchenkov, Erik Karlsson has developed into their number one defenseman. That's not a bad defense for the Sens. Goalies, Elliott and Leclerc. Scratches of Chichu and, I imagine, Ryan Jones. It is Randy Jones, the defenseman. Okay. Philly, Jesus. Gagne, Giroux, Briere, Carter, Richards, and Tierney that they drafted. Scotty Hartnell's in the mix. They got JVR on the fourth line. On defense, Pronger, Timonen, Carl Coburn, Lebda Krachasek. Goalies, Emery and Leighton. Axelson and Carcillo as scratches. That's a little bit more understandable. Let's take a look at the Phoenix Coyotes. Landing spot for Mike Modano and Jere Lehtinen. The Coyotes have turned into a retirement home. Jesus. Cynical, what's going on, dude? Fourth liner, Kyle Turris. Because when you get the chance to play Petri Nokalainen on the third line over young Kyle Turris, you just gotta do it. And then defensively, Yandel, Pothier, Jovanovski, Mahalik, Oliver Ekman-Larsson has made the team.
I'm just trying to walk through this.
There's like 17 ways I could think to say that name. Thank you for the follow, though. Welcome in. Shout out to Ilya Brizgalov. Who do you have for scratches? Okay, at least nobody too crazy. I still cannot believe the Islanders have Mark Streit scratch. That is brutal. The Penguins, Malkin, Crosby, Guerin, Kunitz, and Jordan Stahl, of course. At least they're playing Pascal Dupuis this year on the fourth line. Defense, Gonchar, Letang, Leopold, Murphy, Goligoski, Ben Lovejoy has made the team. And you got Fleury and Johnson in goal. Engelland, Adams, Orpik. I mean, at least Brooks Orpik isn't like as high of a rating as he could have been. The Sharks, the defending Cup champs. Marlowe, Thornton, Heatley, Couture, Pavelski, Setaguchi. Almost doesn't even matter what the bottom six looks like with the top six like that. 5 players with an X factor. Defensively, you add 2 more with Blake and Boyle, both with gold seeing eye. Of course, they have Mark-Edouard Vlasic as well. And then goalies, Nabokov and Grice. Yeah, the Sharks are primed to try and repeat. Doug Murray, Justin Braun are both scratched. St. Louis. I mean, Bacchus, boys. TJ Oshie's continuing to develop. He's got gold quick pick. Okay. They have on defense Boschman, Johnson. Petrangelo's made the team. He's looking pretty good, all things considered. And then goalie-wise, Chris Mason, Ty Conklin, scratches, Cam Jansen, Sean Morrison. Okay. Toronto. You know, they're looking better. They're looking better than they were heading into the first season. Kuhlman, they signed Peter Forsberg, and of course, Phil Kessel. They got John Mitchell, Tyler Bozak, and Rick McGillis, who they took first overall. Stahlberg, Hedman, Freddie Shustrom, Calder, Grabowski, Artukin. Still not great, but it is looking better. Defense is Phaneuf, Eminger, Caberlet, Komisarek, Grabeshkov, and Jeff Finger. Goalies, Gustafsson and Jaguar. They might not be dead last this year. They do have Luke Shen as a healthy scratch, though. which probably isn't wise. I mean, like, you're playing Jeff Finger over him. That's a weird one. The Cougar with the Sedins and Ryan Kessler. It's not bad from there, but it drops off a little bit in terms of those X-Factor caliber players. Defensively, Edler Salo, Ehrhoff, Bieksa, Tallinder, Mitchell. That's not too bad. And then goalies, Luongo and Schneider. Scratches, Alberts, and Hordichuk. And last team, of course, is Washington. Ovechkin, Backstrom, Semin. Drops off a bit from there, but not a bad middle six. Pretty defensively responsible. And speaking of defense, Podian Green, Schultz, Carlson, Mike Motto, John Erskine. Goalies, Jose Theodore and Mike Smith. And Tyler Sloan's the only scratch. I think we could be competitive this year. I do. I do think as well that we need to keep an eye out on some of these teams that might just be, completely dropping the ball in terms of, just, oh my God. Okay, we might be better than slightly competitive. We just kicked the shit out of Atlanta. Good Lord. 13 goals to 5 over the course of 2 games. But yeah, we need to pay attention to teams that might be dropping the ball in terms of who they're not playing. But if this lineup is going to play to this level, I don't know if we're changing anything. 11-1-0 through the opening month. We're just going to keep going for now. Hopefully, if Mark Streit is, well, we did lose Ryan Malone. I was going to say, hopefully Mark Streit gets traded somewhere because it's probably not going to be here. It's too much of a risk. So, weaker draft class than normal. We shall see. Brian Rust gets hurt. Seems like getting better coaches helped a lot. That's definitely a factor, too. Fair point. Paul Shashura, let's get you out of the lineup. Get Ryan Malone back in. And we will keep going. All right, we do have our conversations about player types and such. Colton Gillies is now a grinder, which is great news for the future of our fourth line. Yeah, we did lose 11-1 in Nashville a week ago. Fair point. Adam Hall, not willing to switch to grinder. It's a bit of a shame. It would suit him pretty well. But Martin Saint Louis. Tried to get him to add left wing to what he was doing. He's not willing to do so. That's okay. Matthew Lombardi. Yeah, doesn't add a secondary position either, of course. Of course. Kyle Beach. Learns how to play left wing. That's good. Sake of the AHL. Try to get some extra chemistry there. If you had convos break franchise outside the goalie incident, no. That was the only time it broke. As Colton Gillies learns how to play right wing. Beautiful. That was the only time it broke, was when I was switching goalies back and forth between player types. The only time. Zach Ronaldo learned how to play right wing. Very nice. What else do we got here? Victor Hedman does not learn how to play right D. It's okay. It's not a devastating outcome. Not ideal, but Matthias Oland. Stubborn old men. These stubborn old men. Matty Lashoff learns how to play right D. Thank you, Mr. Lashoff. See, I don't even touch goalie player types anymore. I don't want it to break again. Mark Barbario got hurt. We've definitely not been off to the craziest start this month. Might have just been on a tear to start the year, and now we're crashing back down to earth a little bit. We'll see. And just like that, we've won 4 of our last 5 games. Actually, wow. Done much better than that. Lose to Edmonton and Calgary. Beat Boston. So we head to December 1st at 18-6-1. We are in first in our division, and it might be even better than that. But yeah, we're 10 points up on the Caps, and we have 2 games in hand. So, I mean, that is fantastic. See, entire league. We are not the best team. We're the second best team, only behind the Penguins in terms of point pace. Love to see that. We're third in goals for per game, only behind Calgary and Pittsburgh. Goals against, we have the third lowest total, only behind Detroit and Phoenix. Our power play is at 25%. I'm sensing a theme. Third best in the league behind Calgary and Washington. Our penalty kill, though, is at 76%, the third worst. So we have an Achilles heel, and that is the penalty kill. We'll have to take a look at our lines there. But let's take a look at how the boys are doing. So it is Vinny Lecavalier leading the way, 36 points. You got Stammer on 32. San Luis, Radulov both on 30. 23 points in 25 games for Jeff Skinner. He should be in the running for the Calder. Not getting a ton of bottom 6 scoring. Just 9 points, 2 goals for Verbata, 8 points for Teddy Purcell. So that third line has really been disappointing. I mean, if we take a look, hello Endurance. How are you? If we take a look, Teddy Purcell is on a 26-point pace. It's not great. That is not great. Oh, man. Let's take a look at the defense here. Victor Hedman is just not turning into this major point getter. It really isn't. It's not that bad, but we are missing that like a elite level offensive production from a defender. Been better. I hear you. Goaltending has been okay. Not amazing. It's been serviceable. And Radulov is actually in the mix for the Calder. Interesting. I mean, hey, double the chances. Double the chances of success, so why not? Let's take a look at the entirety of the league here. So leading the way is Alexander Ovechkin. You got Spezza, Alfie, Semin, and Crosby as the top 5. Lecavalier is not too far behind. Top goal scorer is Ovi. Just he, Zetterberg, and Vinny have hit the 20-goal mark. Like Bergeron's crushing it for the Bruins right now. Amongst the defenders, it's Duncan Keith, Mike Green, John Michael Lyles, Lidstrom, Carlson. Who are the top goalies right now in terms of save percentage? Josh Harding's up there, Halak, Brizgalov, Kipper. So, had a big laugh at the beer league. People are getting too comfortable. Oof. I presume I'm reading between the lines correctly on that. Yikes. On a happier topic, it does look like we'll have a Calder winner one way or another. It might be Radulov over Skinner. We shall see. Okay. First and foremost, Purcell and Verbata haven't quite been getting it done. Colton Gillies is now listed as a 4th liner, which doesn't surprise me. Let's actually double-check roster moves. Okay, Gillies is the only one that's NHL ready at the moment. Good to know. Could mean that we move out Todd Fedoruk. Let's see if there's a team that's screwing things up right now in terms of keeping their players happy. Because we might be able to make something happen here. We can move Purcell and Verbata. Thomas Caberlet is available. We'd probably have to give up Martinez to make that happen. A second, a third, and Verbata is really not that much. Robin Leonard, Verbata, and a third. Skinner? That's not happening. Rust Leonard and a third, or Radulov. Second to third and Verbata's not bad, but that's a bit rough. Vancouver just moving Connaughton. Brock Nelson, Cody Eakin. I'm in Washington moving Brock Nelson. What's the cost? Coin and Fiddler, Verbata Fiddler, Purcell and Fiddler, a third and Fiddler, or Robin Leonard outright. Let's see, the Ducks. Nobody crazy. Oduya. Yeah. Boston trying to move the rights to Tarasenko. Skinner, Martinez, and Morris. Absolutely not. So, Cynical, I did. Fair trade for all parties, as boring of a take as that is. That's just the way it is. Coyle. Party. I don't know if there's anybody out there that might help us. Ooh, okay. Eric Cole. Third line scoring forward as a power forward. Last year of his deal. Eric Cole's a decent shout. Could even go for, like, I mean, granted, he's not really putting up points right now, but I do love me some Ruslan Fedotenko, and bringing him back to Tampa could work out pretty well. So we will keep Carolina in mind. Third round pick and Fiddler for Kevin Hayes isn't bad, but I don't want to get rid of Vernon Fiddler. Svatos, that doesn't really fit. Carolina might be the... Ooh, I was going to say the only one. RJ Umberger's available again. Someone's probably looking at these rosters like, is the Calder Trophy named after Kyle Calder? It should be, damn it. It should be. I mean, Anton Vermette would be a good pickup, but I don't really have space for him. What's the cost for Umberger? Zaros Ranta, a second, a third, Adam Hall, Leonard a third, and Fiddler. So a second, a third, and Adam Hall. It's not bad. Detroit's trying to move the signing rights to Artemi Panarin, but they're not interested in anything that we have. Edmonton trying to move Zednik. They're also trying to move Sheldon Surrey. We don't really have space for him either. Corey Stillman and Radek Dvorak. Dvorak, as some people call him. I mean, wow, Corey Stillman's a playmaker? I guess I just didn't really envision Corey Stillman as a playmaker. Second and TJ Brennan, Hamonic, and a fourth. I mean, getting Corey Stillman to replace Teddy Purcell just to give Radim Verbata another chance isn't the worst idea. We'll keep Florida in mind here, too. Donskoy. JP Dumont. They have been healthy scratching Dumont. Ooh, if we get Stillman and Dumont, I mean, we could get JP Dumont for cheap. Hamonic and a sixth. We just have to try to keep him happy in a third line role. Purcell. I mean, honestly, Stillman and Dumont. And there's Mark Streit. They have played him in 23 games this year, but that's crazy. Miro Shatan and Trent Hunter. That's not too bad, but I like the other option better. Wonder if you can change that Hamonic piece, right? If they gave you a choice to rename one NHL trophy, which would you change and who would you name it after? If I could change one trophy name, what would it be? I mean, I'd look at a trophy that wasn't necessarily named after anybody that had a connection. Like, I know the Hart Trophy and the Bing are both named for people who technically donated the trophies to the league. So it's like they're kind of connected, but they're not. I mean, the Norris Trophy is named after, like, the owner of a team. I forget who he owned. It was like Chicago or Detroit or something like that. One of the original 6 teams. So it's like, that's like, you know, could probably rename the Norris. Trying to think. I feel like I think the Selke. I mean, honestly, like my biased answer is, yeah, you know, rename the Selke Trophy to the Bergeron Award because it should be. But yeah, there aren't even too many other trophies that should necessarily be renamed. Like you have. Hold on, I just noticed Keith Tkachuk and Peter Sikora. Power forward and sniper. I do love me some Peter Sikora. Was the other guy that I was considering? It was Dumont. So we got Dumont or Peter Sikora for the right. Stillman for the left. Dono's out there. Simone Dupre. San Jose is not getting rid of anybody that I really care about. What is the cost for Corey Stillman? Second and Brennan and Hamonic and a fourth. So Hamonic and a fourth. What is the cost for Peter Sikora? Martinez a sixth and Domingue. Rust a fourth and Rycroft. Leonard a fourth and Ranta a second. Okay. I'm not really happy with Verbata and Teddy Purcell. I think we're going to try to change that. Although, again, it's the argument of Dumont. Yeah, I mean, it's Dumont or Sikora. I have more of affinity for Peter Sikora. But Stillman's definitely the left wing to look to pick up here. It is going to cost Travis Hamonic and a fourth, but I am okay with that. So, welcome in Corey Stillman. Send down Matt Smobby for the moment. Just go best lines. We're going to have to fix all the lines anyway. And then we will also look to acquire Peter Sikora from Ottawa, who does have a little bit more term, but I don't care. Rust a fifth in Rycroft, Leonard Ranta a second to fifth in Ranta. What's Brian Rust looking like right now? It's a 63 at 18. Like, he's fine. He's nothing crazy, though. Brian Rust, a fifth and a goalie to Ottawa for Peter Sikora. Done deal. Done deal. We have the players in Verbata and Purcell that aren't quite working out. We'll send down Todd Fedoruk. I was hoping he'd get claimed on waivers. Now we'll try to trade him. All right, so right wing side. I'm sorry to redeem Verbata, but 2 goals in 25 games. That's not going to cut it, Chief. A third round pick in Mike Weaver. School in a fifth. Weaver, Backman, Oduya. Third and a sixth. Paul Byron in a sixth. Okay. Third and Kyle Comiskey. A third and Luke Gazdick. So a third round pick looks to be about the best we can get. Obviously, we don't necessarily need any NHL players in the mix here because we already have our guys. Could pick up JP Dumont and then flip him, but I don't have space for it. Third and a fourth. Kyle Calder. All right. So a third and a fourth from Pittsburgh. It's probably a later third rounder, but Radim Verbata's on his way to the Penguins. Teddy Purcell. Couldn't cut the mustard, Chief. Third and a fourth from Boston. 2/3 from Detroit or New Jersey. We'll take those 2/3 from Detroit. Sorry to Teddy Purcell. You got to go. Is that the second 2012 draft? I think so, but we still have our first, so we're fine. Sorry, Jeff, for pissing you off. And then Todd Fedoruk. Can I get anything for you? No. Can I get anything for Colton Gillies? Since he is NHL caliber. We could get Dana Terrell back. Zach Cassian. We're not getting anything too crazy here. Jack Campbell. Well, we'll probably just have Todd Fedoruk or Gillies then as a healthy scratch. But that's not bad. It's not a bad bit of business. See, we still have Lanius there. We need to call old Smaby Smobby back up. Just to be a healthy scratch. Now Peter Sikora and Corey Stillman in the mix. I like it. We'll send down Paul Shashara. Okay. Hopefully I don't have to redo the power play. I think I might have to. Yeah, it looks like it might have already... Yeah, all the lines were reset anyway. Okay. Well, I'll have to fix all this nonsense up again, but... Bottom line is, Stillman, Lombardi, Sikora as a third line. We'll see if that can provide the offense that we could not get from Purcell and Verbata.